Bomberman would make an awesome addition to Smash. That's why I put him at number 10. I remember playing a lot of Bomberman games. He started out on Nintendo consoles. He is like an iconic, classic character, and he might be tricky to figure out all the movesets, but he could have multiple bombs, different types of bombs, and if he holds a bomb long enough, maybe it gets like bigger, or I'm not sure what they'd want to do, but they could definitely make it work. I'd like to see him in the game.
You're a shinobi, right? Act like one.
I know what I'm doing. We're just wasting time here.
That's what I'm talking about. Owned. Yes, number 9. Ryu Hayabusa. As I think most people should know, and if you don't, well, you're going to find out now, but Ryu Hayabusa actually made his debut on the NES with Ninja Gaiden, the original Ninja Gaiden game. There's not much more I have to say about Ryu because he would just make an awesome addition. He'd be really cool, fast. He's just an iconic original Nintendo Entertainment System character, and everyone knows who he is. Number 8, we have Sora. Sora is more of a more recent, a character in the gaming universe. But there's Kingdom Heart games like on the 3DS and things like that, and plus they put Snake in. So I think with Sora it'd be a really cool addition, with the key sword and all the different moves. But I'd like to see him. Number 7, A Boy and His Blob. I personally think this would be one of the coolest characters to have in Super Smash because of all the various things that you can do. You start out like on Nintendo, and as you see here, this clip is from the Wii. What he does is he feeds his blob various jelly beans, and each jelly bean will give the blob different attributes depending on what the boy needs him to do at that moment in time. Like as you can see here right now, he's like some kind of anvil, but now he's looking through to see what he needs, and he's getting like a stool, so he gives him jelly beans, and now he's like a bouncing thing. So he'd be a really technical character, but he would be really, really fun to use.
I agree.
Number 6, Battletoads. Now it could be any one of them, Rash, Pimple, or Zitz, or whichever one of them they want to put in there. Alternate outfits, yes, that would work. But obviously he'd have a lot of smash attacks like the boot, the fist, the head. But he's just one of those classic characters, from the Nintendo, one of the best games on the Nintendo. And obviously one of the most notoriously difficult games on the Nintendo, but I feel like he would fit right in on Smash. I'm really surprised they haven't actually put him on there yet. So, he should be coming now. Sir Arthur.
Yeah.
He has a long, good history on Nintendo. NES, with Ghouls and Ghosts, and then Ghosts and Goblins, and then Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo, and there's not much you have to say about Sir Arthur. He's just a really cool guy. Different projectiles, different armors that he could use, and he's another character that I'm just really surprised they haven't put in there yet. I'd like to see more of these classic characters than like the Wii Fit Girl.
I'm coming, princess!
I mean, look at that guy. Classy. Number 4, Sarge. I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this pick, but when I was younger, the King of Pikmin and we would play a lot of, like Army Men, Sarge's Heroes, and all that stuff. Army Men, Sarge's War. And that was like on the N64 and stuff, and so You know, he'd be like a shooting kind of character and whatnot, but I don't know, I just think he'd be like really cool, you know, to have like an army man guy in the game, you know, specifically Sarge. And maybe, you know, when he gets back on stage, there's like a little helicopter that brings him up, or, you know, he's got various weapons and things. Oh, goosh. Number 3. Simon Belmont. Now, I've noticed that he's very highly requested, you know, thus far by a lot of different people and sites and whatnot, just because, again, NES, you know, is such a classic game, and why he hasn't been put on there yet, you know, I just really don't know. He's got his whip, he's got like the holy water he throws, he's, you know, got the different items, and, you know, he's just classic. You know, you wouldn't even have to do much work to fit him in the game. He would just fit in like perfectly. So we really need to see Simon Belmont for Smash this time around. Not Mega Man. Although Mega Man probably would have been on this list if he had not have been put already, but those are the kind of people I like to see. But anyway, back to number 2, Ryger. Again, another character with origins all the way back on the NES. Again, to reiterate how I feel, they need to put more classic Nintendo characters with heavy Nintendo roots in Smash instead of doing just much more recent characters. Ryger, you know, he's got his chain shield, you know, and all his different moves. He's kind of like an original Kratos, so to speak, you know, but, you know, less bloody and whatnot. But he just reminds me a little bit of Kratos, and he'd be really, really fun and cool to use in Smash. Maybe that's how he gets back on the stage, like a bunch of townsfolk come and just push him back up on stage. And now my number 1 character for Super Smash Bros. 4. Roll from Mega Man. I don't know why, but I'm a huge fan of Roll. She is so cool, especially in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. This is the version I'd like to see in Smash, with the broom and all that. And I mean, look at this stuff, you know, she's got her broom to get back on stage. This could be like her super, you know, like her down B could be like where she's scrubbing the floor and the fire's coming up. She'd be so awesome in Smash. Definitely the first character I would choose if she were in the game. There's my recap. Those are my top 10. And now we go over to the King of Pikmin's top 10. Thank you all for listening.
Hello, folks. Right here, I reiterated because I agree with B26 on a lot of characters. So right there are the people I agree with. Number 5, King K. Rool. First, let me point out how awesome this music is. Just saying. And King K. Rool, I mean, I know he's pretty much announced, right?
Well, I mean, he's heavily expected.
Okay, he's heavily expected. But I've always loved King K. Rool. I mean, I never played the Donkey Kong Countries too much. Well, I did, but I didn't remember them much since I was so young. But look at that, like, he could have that gun. So, like, his recovery move could be shooting downwards and launching back up. Things of that nature. I'd just love to see him make a appearance.
Everything in your power to keep Donkey Kong distracted. Steal that hold of golden banana.
Yeah.
Fear the name of the dread Captain
This is the one I'm going to get a lot of flack for. But just think about it. He would fit, okay? His IGDR, which is, you'll see here if you don't know, well, you won't see here, but soon he, like, spins in a circle. He's a ghost, so he can kind of fly, so to speak. So he could, right there, you see, he could use that as a recovery move, a horizontal attack. And another reason I would just love to see him in there is because I love the character. He's so awesome. And he'd have his swords, he'd have his gun. That'd work really well. He'd have the IGDRs to fly all over the place. He'd fit. No one can argue
One
that.
thing I'd be really stoked about, like if they put him in the game, is his stage.
His stage would be so cool.
Yeah.
So, like, you'd be on the ship, and they could even take music from Soul Calibur.
And the reason he was even mentioned is because, if anyone doesn't know, Namco is his assistant.
And here we go again, another Namco character.
Yeah.
Yoshimitsu. If you try arguing that he won't fit, you're just
Retarded.
Yeah, exactly.
And of any Namco character, we think he's got the most chance because he's in like every Namco fighting game.
And I'd be so excited because I love Yoshimitsu. I've always played Yoshimitsu in Tekken. I mean, when I was a kid, when I went to the arcades, I would play with my dad.
Tekken, Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, Street
Soul
Fighter
Calibur.
Cross Tekken. My main character is Yoshimitsu. Soul Calibur, my main character is Cervantes and Yoshimitsu. But I just love to see Yoshimitsu make an appearance, just flying around with his dragonfly stance.
Yeah, that's how we get back to stage.
Yeah, and he could like use his pogo sword to jump around. He could even have his Harakiri as a smash attack.
Right.
No, seriously.
But
it would take away percentage from you too. It would like raise your percentage, stuff like that. It'd just be awesome to see him and see what crazy antics he gets into.
Yeah.
In Smash.
Well, I would honestly not be surprised if they put him in there.
Me neither, but I'm still hoping. I love it.
To see what is right and not to do it is want of courage. Send forth the
Sir Arthur. I know I made a list of things I agreed with, and I didn't put Sir Arthur there, but that's because it's Sir Arthur, okay? He deserves his own spot on my list. And besides, he's so high on my list that it wouldn't make sense to spoil number 2 right away. Now, I have a list of favorite video game characters in history, and Sir Arthur meets number 2 on that list, so the only person that beats him, you're gonna see soon.
Is number 1.
Is number 1, so just look forward to that. But yeah, I love Sir Arthur. He's on my team in Marvel vs. Capcom, and he's just a neat character. All his different.
Yeah, he's got his different projectiles he could use. You know, the different armors. They could work that in somehow. Maybe maybe like his smash would just be like getting like the gold armor, and then like he takes a lot less damage. I don't know.
But either way, I think he'd fit. He can have like multiple jumps, like in the game,
right?
Stuff like that.
But again, he's just another character that I just don't know why they haven't put in yet.
Okay, folks. Here we go. My favorite video game character / number 1 character for Super Smash Bros. That's right, Jack from Mad World. I absolutely adore this game. It's just pure fun, even if it's pretty brutal. But if you're a fan of the channel, you know how much I like Jack already because of Anarchy Reigns. Because I just talk about him all the time, and he's Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
So, and he'd fit his. And let me point out right now that I want his black and white iteration.
Yes.
I feel like if they made him, they would do that. But I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
I like his stage to be black and white. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, because I like the Anarchy Reigns or Max Anarchy, whichever one you know it as, iteration of Jack, but I like the black and white original one better. It's just really cool. I don't know. I just think he'd fit really well. His recovery attack could be his uppercut from Anarchy Reigns, where he his chainsaw kind of flames and he flies upwards. You get out that. I mean, the only reason they might not put him in is just because of the material of Mad World being so good. I was talking to B26 about that, but I don't think that would hold them back too much.
But he was kind of like a Nintendo Wii staple character. You know, he was kind of like the first really brutal game. You know, because people who got the Wii were all like, oh man, there's everything's T or E or
Yeah, but
whatever.
then no one bought this.
I know, but so he's like big time like Nintendo icon, you know, more current, but like straight up like Nintendo. So he really should be in it.
Well, he's not really an icon, but just because
I would
not
say
many
he
people
is.
really. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people out there, but he's an only. It's not like that
I'll give you
popular of a
credit.
game.
You ran a pretty good line
I
of
only consider
bullshit.
people like Link's
But
an
in the
icon,
end, it
Mario's an
smelled
icon.
exactly
Well,
like
those are
crap.
like even a little more
You're
than
here to
icons,
arrest me,
but like
right?
I mean for the Nintendo Wii,
Better hurry,
like Mad World, it
or I'm
was
gonna die on you.
you know, it was, because it was exclusive and it was just totally different. You know, like when it came out,
Poor
people were
little
like, "Oh
Leo.
man, what's that?"
But then no one
Now.
bought it.
Not many people bought it, but
Help
I'd say
me,
people talk more about No More
or
Heroes,
I'm gonna.
because that game that actually came out. The first one actually came out before Mad World.
but Jack is more iconic, I guess
I
is
don't
what I
help
mean
people.
to say. Like
Oh.
he's real like unique and different.
Leo getting what he deserves. If you're a fan of the channel, you also know how much I hate Leo, who is in Anarchy Reigns. I think was based off of this dead guy, but aside from that, I would be the happiest person in the world if they put Jack in Super Smash Bros. 4. That's the bottom line.
I kill them.
Alright everyone, well thanks for watching our video and stay tuned for another video which it's going to be shorter but it's going to show who we think would be great assist trophies.
Indeed.
Our top 10 assist trophies for Smash 4.